Played 12 years in the bigs, most notably for the A's and the Yankees. Also played for the Indians, the Braves, and the White Sox. He's one of my favorite guests. We get to bring him on 3 or 4 or 5 times a year. A former Ohio State Buckeye. He loves his college football, and he loves his baseball, and he is now joining us live. Nick Swisher in Tampa, World Series champ and all-star with the Yankees. Okay.
What's up, Colin? How you doing, baby?
Joy and I were talking. Nick, Mookie Betts is like a 1978 baseball player. He is manipulating the game. He is get on, steal. It's a throwback player. I mean, there were guys that tried to be him, but when I watch him, the Dodgers have been good for years. What, as a player, have you ever played on a good team and you put somebody else into the organization and he just added juice like Mookie has for the Dodgers?
Big time. Yeah. BYOJ. No, bring your own juice. No doubt. I feel like Mookie Betts has brought so much to the Los Angeles Dodgers, not only on the field, but I think you really have to notice the thing that he's done in the locker room, right? Now you have Clayton Kershaw, right, who's been the cornerstone of the organization. Now all of a sudden you bring over Mookie Betts, an MVP, one of the biggest contracts in baseball, and he's lived up to it. He has done everything the Los Angeles Dodgers have asked of him, and he is so excited to be there. From an ex-player to a current player, someone that signs a long-term contract, the only thing you want for them is to be happy, and he is happy. Look at the smile on his face, and it is definitely showing in the way he's playing the game of baseball right now, big time.
Yeah, and by the way, his defense is the reason they're in this World Series. Now, if you're the Dodgers, and I saw a little bit of this last night, one of the reasons I like this series to go longer, the Dodgers bullpen has to be concerning. Last night, bases loaded, 8-3, and you're sitting there thinking, okay, it's going to bust it open. So is the Dodgers, all their talent, because they have more high-end players than Tampa, is their bullpen such a liability that Tampa will use that to win the series, in your opinion?
No, I don't. I have the Dodgers winning this series in 6, and this is the reason why. The Los Angeles Dodgers bullpen, who has struggled, is not going up against the Atlanta Braves, the powerful Atlanta Braves lineup with Ronald Acuna Jr. and Freddie Freeman and Marcell Ozuna. No, they're not doing that. They're going up against a Tampa Bay Rays offense with Brandon Lau, who is really struggling, and Kevin Kiermaier, who's hitting around the Mendoza line. So I don't think the offense the Rays have is as daunting as the Braves. So this is where I feel like the Los Angeles Dodgers have the advantage, even though that is the Achilles of them. I mean, I saw in Game 7, just like you did, Colin, I thought Kenley Jansen was going to come in to shut that game, but Julio Urias stayed in the game to shut that down. So I definitely think Dave Roberts has some question marks about who he's going to use at the end of the game. But because Clayton Kershaw went 6 innings in Game 1, that bullpen is completely rested and excited and ready to get back on the mound.
Let's talk about Clayton. He was very good last night, threw the ball past guys last night. A lot of guys swing and miss. So, there's a narrative out there. He's our Sandy Koufax, but not great in the postseason. How much of it's real? How much of it is just a good story? Did you play with guys? I mean, listen, we both love A-Rod, but A-Rod had some bad postseasons and bad series. Sometimes stars, it gets into their head. There's a ton of pressure. Do you trust Kershaw in a big spot?
No, I mean, from watching the way he pitched last night and the way that he's pitched this regular season, absolutely I do. And this is why. Listen, Clayton Kershaw is a 200-inning guy. He is considered a horse. He is considered a guy that takes the ball every 5th day. That's just who he is. That's what he's done his entire career. We didn't play 162 games this year. We only played 60. So think about that. Think about Clayton Kershaw's health at the end of a 60-game postseason rather than the end of his health at the end of a 162-game postseason. So I think with where he is right now, I think he looked the best I've seen him all year long last night. I mean, bro, I woke up this morning, I was like, man, I need back spasms, bro. Because if you're going to look that good coming back from an injury like that, his command on the mound, I mean, bro, he's got his playoff beard going right now. He's got his flow all out the side of his hat. Clayton Kershaw is in the zone right now. And by the way, yes, you're right. The narrative is completely real. But it's almost like we have to write off. It's like he has to pitch great in the postseason for us to believe he's a Hall of Famer. I don't think that's the case. I think he's a Hall of Famer as is, but if and when the Dodgers do win this World Series, Clayton Kershaw, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yep. So one of the things that Joy and I have complained about baseball is when I grew up, I watched Al Roboski and Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose, and Reggie Jackson, and they were huge characters. Mark Fidrich, Ozzie Smith would be flipping, going out to shortstop.
Yeah.
So I like that. I think sports are entertainment. And I have to be entertaining. Players have to be entertaining. The reality is we're not data. We're not numbers. We're people. But baseball over the last 10 years has gotten pretty rigid. They don't want you to stare at home runs. And then this postseason happened. And everybody's throwing bats. And I got to tell you, I think it's way more entertaining on television. When you watch the Braves, the Dodgers, what is your takeaway? Because you got a little old school in you, but you got a little new school in you.
100%, bro. I got the old school philosophy, but I got the new school chains, bro, the whole nine, dude. You know what, man? I think this is great. It feels like a Little League game when I'm watching it, right? Like, hey, by the way, I've heard two sides of this. Number one, if you don't want to see me dance, don't let me in the end zone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the other side, I can understand. Like, hey, people may think it's trying to show somebody up, but that's not it, bro. I believe in the philosophy. You got to be you, man. I'm an emotional guy. Sports are emotional, right? There's a lot of emotion that goes into it. Hey, I'm just jealous I didn't get to do it, Colin, because, hey, bro, if I was doing that, I'd be flipping my bat in the stands, bro. I'd be like souvenirs for everybody, bro. You know what I mean? So I think it's great for the game. And right now, we're in a world that's evolving, right? We have to evolve as well. We can't stay stuck in the game of baseball. We need to catch up with the times. And being able to let these guys celebrate and be themselves, let their personality shine through, bro. I could not be more in favor of it.
So you won the World Series with the Yanks in 2009, and I'm looking at that ring behind you.
Oh, you seen that ring? This one right here?
Yeah. So I want
this guy right here.
Oh my God.
That one.
So give me a memory. give me a story about that year, because I think a lot of people in Los Angeles, they've gone through this struggle, and you think Dodgers and Yankees, and they got a lot of payroll. But the difficulty in winning World Series when you're the Yankees or the Dodgers, there's a lot of pressure. Tell me a story about that World Series, about the pressure you faced that year before you overcame it and won the series.
Well, I mean, for me personally, bro, I mean, it was an up and down series for me. I mean, I got benched game 2, right? I didn't even play. So to be able to come back game 3 and help the team win was awesome. But this is why I think Mookie Betts is so important in that Los Angeles Dodger locker room. For me, as a 2009 New York Yankee, I had the Derek Jeters to look up to, the Mariano Riveras, the Andy Pettitts, the Posadas, the A-Rods, the Hideki Matsuis. I had those veterans in the locker room that could calm the storm. When I was feeling too out of sync, those guys could bring me back. You have to have leaders in your locker room for when the times are good and when the times are bad. And believe me, man, the winning is part of the Los Angeles Dodgers DNA, just like it is the New York Yankees DNA. And having guys in the locker room like the Mookie Bettses of the world and the Clayton Kershaws of the world, even Jock Peterson, a huge leader on that squad, having those guys in the locker room helps these guys get through the times. Can you imagine being down 3-1, the mighty Dodgers, and to be able to come back from that? Their confidence and the way they feel about themselves is so high right now that I mean, I just want to go in that locker room to feel the love that they all have for each other right now, because I was able to experience it in 2009 and hold that trophy over your head. And there's no better feeling in sports than being able to be called a champion.
Nick Swisher, Fox Sports baseball analyst. Man, you got energy. How much do you sleep a night? Like, I'm not a big sleeper. Are you a big sleeper?
Oh, bro. Nah, well, hey, man, not very long, but I sleep hard, baby. I sleep hard.
Okay. That's okay.
I'm down, bro.
Love your energy. Good seeing you, buddy.
You got it, my man. Hi, Joy. I didn't get a chance to say hi to Joy. Tell her I said what's up.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
Nick Swisher.
I'm doing great. Thank you.
2009 World Series ring, an all-star. And, no, Mookie Betts is incredible. Check engine light comes on. Don't freak out. There's no reason. Get a warranty when yours ends. It's called carshield.com, code HERD. Save 10%. A deductible may apply. Yeah, I was watching it last night, as I told you earlier, and there's an intensity and a drama. And the Dodgers are just flawed enough in the back end of their bullpen. They're just flawed enough to make it interesting. If they had, the Yankees were different. You always knew when the Yankees were great, like Goulet would tell you, if you got the lead, you won. If you went into the 8th with a lead, it was over. The Yankee struggles were in the 3rd to the 7th to the 8th inning. With the Dodgers, they're great until the 8th, and then it's like you're kind of making it up. You're kind of like Clayton Kershaw last night. You're kind of making it up. You're doing whatever you can do, and it's just flawed enough to make the Dodgers just vulnerable enough because they do have the better team in this World Series. They have more elite players. It's October. What does that mean? Geico-ween. Don't be spooked by high rates on car insurance. Get a quote today at geico.com. We are packed. Jonathan Vilma, Fox Sports, former Super Bowl champ. Jane Slater joins us from Dallas, breaking stories yesterday on dysfunction with the Cowboys. Hour 3 next.